everybody. Thanks so much for joining us right here on The Right View. Tonight, we're joined by authors of a new book, What If Love Is the Point? Alexa and Carlos PenaVega. Alexa and Carlos, welcome to the show. We're so stoked to talk to you guys. First of all, I think that you guys are so cute and so cool. I just found out about your last name. For people that don't know, tell me about your last name, because I think it's great.
So it's PenaVega, but when we got married, we were like, okay, so I'm originally Pena, she's Vega, and we have crazy families. I mean, who doesn't, right? So we were like, you know what? Let's just start fresh. And we showed up to the what is it called? Just like the courthouse. The courthouse. And they said, who's taking whose last name? We said, okay, give us a second. And on the paper, I wrote PenaVega as one word, which technically is not like the way to change a name, but I just did it. And we showed it to the guy, and he goes, oh, that's super cute. Love it. Gave us a stamp.
Wow. I love it. I love that you guys didn't even consider it before, and it just was like a spontaneous thing. That's
just spur of the moment. Let's see if we get away with this, and we did. So
wow. All right. So I feel like I need to know more about you guys. Obviously, you have this new book, What If Love Is the Point? And you talk a little bit in there about how you guys met, but tell us a little more about it for the audience.
Okay, well, our backgrounds, we were a mess, honestly, when we met. I was fresh off a divorce. I was married very young. Carlos was, I wouldn't say spiraling out of control, but he was
fresh off a relationship.
He was hitting his version, I guess, of rock bottom. And our friend, we have a mutual friend that had been trying to get us to meet for years, but he happened to lead a Bible study out of his house for 5 years at this point. And he's just like, you really should come to Bible study to me. And he'd been asking me for a while. And I finally agreed, okay, I'll come to your Bible study. And he was doing the same thing to Carlos. And it just so happened to be our very first Bible study was where we met.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's kind of cool. That sounds almost kismet, or maybe there was a higher power involved. Do you guys ever feel like that?
Oh, 100%. I mean, for us, faith is our foundation, and we were just friends for a minute. Carlos was amazing, and he was very patient, and I just wanted to be friends because I was coming off of a divorce. So we would hang out by going to Bible study together and going to church together, and then before
I just took what I could get. I was like, fine. We would go to church together. That's fine. Being sensitive. She just came off a divorce. But funny enough, hold on, you know how long, I mean, I don't know, but apparently divorces can take a long time to finalize. And the day that it was official, I remember that was we were dating, but she was still kind of married, I guess. But the day that she got the email saying it was official, it's kind of corny.
You not proposed to me,
well,
but it was
we were on a cruise. It was a New Year's cruise, and I took her to the front of the ship, and I was like, hey, will you be my girlfriend?
Stupid.
And she was like, what? I was like, well, now that the whole thing is officially done, will you be my girlfriend? She was like, yes, cool. So yeah.
Oh, well, that's kind of cute. Yeah. I mean,
cute.
Right?
You knew what was going on, but you guys kind of waited until the perfect time, and here you are. Obviously, it seems like it's going well. Should I say?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I mean, we're 3 kids in.
3 kids in, almost 10 years.
It's awesome.
We're cruising.
Oh, well, I mean, you guys obviously met each other at a perfect time for both of you. I have a theory, though, and I feel like what I just heard from you guys sort of proves it. I always believe that relationships work better when the guy is just a little more interested in the girl, at least initially, than the girl is in the guy. Is that what we had going on here?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was so interested in her, and she was just like, not right now, kid. Not right.
My head was somewhere else though, babe, because you're a catch.
But listen, I was persistent, so it's true what they say. Persistence pays off. So.
Well, here you are. And what are the ages of your kids?
5, 3, and 1.
5, 3, 1. Yeah.
Man, I mean, it's a lot. I'm in it too, because I have an almost 5-year-old. I have a just turned 3-year-old. No 1-year-old. So shout out, because I feel like I got enough on my plate right now. But it's tough. I mean, these kids, I feel like we were talking about this before the show, but just when you feel like you have everything kind of mapped out with your kids, you know how to deal with things, they just come in from out of nowhere and throw something new at you. I feel like so far, what do you guys think has been the toughest age for the kids?
I don't know. I think for our oldest, Ocean, when he was like 2, almost 3, he was throwing these tantrums that were so rough, and none of our other kids ever did what he did. And I would say that was probably the hardest.
Our biggest issue is that our 5-year-old listens to her, the 3-year-old listens to me, and the 1-year-old listens to no one. So so it's like,
this is true.
It's like, what do you do? You know, you're just kind of like, all right. Well.
We're also really outnumbered. We really don't have help. So we just kind of do it on our own. And I think that's where we've reached our point of, we need a vacation. Yeah. It's time to leave the kids with somebody else.
We take our kids everywhere. I mean, I just got off a 2-month
which I love.
With my band, Big Time Rush. And we did 44 cities. We, went to Mexico. We played everywhere. And the family was with us. I mean, we had our own bus. It was the family bus. And we spent 2 months on the road. And it was great, but it was freaking exhausting.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, but it's hard.
Keeping that family first, I feel like
it'll pay off.
America was like founded in family, that was the dream, to have a family and do stuff with the kids and go to Disney and do this and that. And people have just kind of lost that. So for us, we like being that family that sticks together, because people see it and they're like, okay, all right, well,
and hopefully you guys are inspiring people to continue to have families. I feel like, I do have a lot of friends who, are in their late 30s, early 40s, and they kind of were like, well, I don't really know if I want to have a family. I don't know if I want to do the kid thing. And the problem is that we need people to have children. You guys are actually doing it right. This is my husband's argument. He always wants us to have more kids. And they say that if you have a family of 4, so 2 parents and 2 kids, that you're just maintaining the population and you're not actually growing the population. So you guys have grown the population and you're going towards Eric's argument, we need to have another.
I know. Well, you know what? It's so funny because we want more. I mean, we will continue to have more. We want to adopt. We're gonna have a big family. I'm one of 7.
It'll be great.
He's one of 4, and my dad is one of 12. So I've always been around.
I know, his poor
families.
mom. Ooh.
Oh, I know. We've always been around huge families, and there's something really beautiful about that. And the innocence of children, purity of children, is something that people need. And I think for a lot of these people who are like unsure of kids, I don't think they're spending enough time around beautiful, innocent kids to realize, like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what the world needs.
Yeah, and I feel like they teach you so much. You would have never been able to convince me prior to having kids as to how much I would grow as a person, how much they would teach me. I mean, on a daily basis, from patience to, like, I don't know how my son knows so much about outer space and like the planets. And today he told me that there are only 3 planets that have water confirmed. He's 4, mind you, so I don't know what we're doing here or how accurate this is, but I feel like I learn something in some capacity every day from them. So it's a big positive as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, kids are amazing.
They're the best. So I have to ask you guys, because you guys both became famous at a young age, but yet you seem very, I don't know if the word level is accurate or grounded or normal, but you guys seem like you did. Yeah, you did something right. How was that?
Let me just put this down here.
Oh my gosh. No, you know what? I will say this, like, even though we come from kooky families, like we both come from very strict Hispanic families that raised us with like spankings and repercussions for our actions, and also taught us right from wrong, raised us with morals. And that really stuck with us. And sure, we all went through our things in life as we do, our seasons, but I really believe that a lot of who we became was from what our parents instilled at a really young age, and we were able to like really implement that into what we're doing with our family. I mean, I will say I'm one of 7. There are a lot of kids, but early on when there weren't as many kids, when we were filming Spy Kids, my mom didn't leave any of the kids at home, and she didn't let me go to set by myself. Literally the entire family was on set with us all the time. And that's kind of where we got the idea, like, we don't ever want to break up our family. We want to keep our family together all the time, because this industry is not set up for families. I don't know how people do it.
Or relationships.
Well, yeah, when people leave for 6 months, like they're either not getting, your kids aren't getting mommy or daddy, or you're not getting your spouse. And the issue isn't like, oh, you're going to miss them so much. It's after 2 weeks, you get used to being alone and living without them, that going back, you have to relearn everything. So we're like, we don't want to go through that. We don't want to mess our family up. We're going to keep it together.
I love it. And I mean, obviously it's working, and I hope that people kind of take a note from you guys on a lot of different fronts. But is that part of the reason you decided to write this book, to just kind of share what you've learned or what you've done that you think has worked?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to, so after we got married, we had gone through a lot of stuff, and I was like, maybe we could write a book one day. So I kind of just made a one sheet that we shared back and forth for a year or so, and it was just titled like, what's the point? And it was like, what's the point of marriage? What's the point of,
failure?
Failure. Like what's the point of eating organic? It was like anything that I could figure out. Like what's the point of this?
It was like a sheet of like
most people, like something bad happens to them and they're like, this sucks. I'm not saying I don't say that, but part of my thought process is, okay, I'm like, God, what was the point of this?
Yeah.
Like why did the boat sink? I mean, it's terrible, but what do I learn from this? So we started writing all this stuff down, and I kind of have this one sheet. And over the years, we met people, and they were like, have you ever thought about writing a book? And I was like, well, I have this one sheet called this. I passed it along, and man, again, just God's timing. He 7 years later, we met somebody who's big in the book world, and we started talking to him. We shared a couple of things. He introduced us. Nothing happened. 8 years later, we met somebody else.
8 years later, no.
A year later.
Yeah. The 8 year mark. I was like, dang, how long have we been married?
No. A year for the same type of thing, and then one day, God, he literally, Lex made a video, and some publisher over at HarperCollins saw her video. She was talking about her
eating disorder.
an eating disorder that she had back in the day, and then she got connected to a friend, reached out to us, and was like, "You want to write a book?" And I was like, well, I got this one sheet, and then
funny you should say something, because
but it was literally just kind of like this person to person to person. I mean, all the different connections that just brought it together.
So we knew it was something that we wanted to do. We just let God kind of figure out when the right time was. And it happened to be during that crazy lockdown time where all of us were stuck at home. So
wait, can I jump in though?
Absolutely.
There was a point. So we did Dancing with the Stars together, and we were the first married couple to ever compete against each other.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it was so really hard, and you're so vulnerable.
And I did better than her.
He did do better than her. He's a really good dancer.
Just for the record. I wouldn't say really good.
He's not competitive.
I just kept taking my shirt off, and then kept bringing every week.
Gosh.
Anyways, go.
But while we were doing Dancing with the Stars, it was amazing. We had a couple moments where, it's a show. Producers want to pin you against each other. They want to make it competitive. And we value our marriage. And that was something that I guess really showed through with the audience members. And we had so many people writing in just saying, thank you so much for shining a light on marriage in this day and age, and for showing what a happy, fun marriage looks like. We had older couples saying that we reignited their marriage and kind of lit a fire in their marriage. We had young people saying, thank you so much for making us not feel crazy for being married young. And it was a big eye opener for us, because we realized there aren't movies or TV shows highlighting marriage. Everything is what a ball and chain marriage is, or how don't get married now, be who you want to be first, go do all this. So what we realized is we want to shine a light on marriage. We want to go out there and show people what a young, happy, healthy marriage looks like. And we'll show the ups and downs. We'll share this with people through social media or through a book that we might one day write. And that's kind of what I feel inspired the one sheet.
Yeah.
And in general, getting all those comments from people.
So what do you guys feel like you want people to take away from the book after they read it?
Oh boy. Well, a few things. One was how God really led every step of the way in our marriage, from how we met to how we married to where we are now with our family.
Even though you may not see it
at the moment,
in the moment, so many things have been revealed later that I'm like, man, well, thank God that happened, because had that not happened and this was happening.
100%. And I've probably told this story before, but had the exact timing not worked out for me, Eric and I would have never met each other ever we wouldn't have our 2 kids. I mean, who knows what else would have happened? Who knows who would be here instead, or what would have happened in a bigger sense on so many respects. It's crazy, but it all comes down to these very, very small decisions that you make, and you wonder, why did I make that decision? And thank goodness I made that decision. Same thing, right?
Yeah. So for us, we just share our testimonies. We share where we came from. I think the hardest part about writing the book was, you want to be honest and truthful, but you also still want to protect the people in your life around you. So it was a very vulnerable experience, but I really do feel like people will get a lot because we're pretty honest and very raw, I guess is the best way to put it.
Absolutely. Well, and you know what, for fans of Spy Kids and Big Time Rush, like we go back to how we even got those opportunities. So there's some really cool story in there. Like Alexa, her first job was when she was 4. But she was literally there with a friend, and she kind of got like thrown into the audition out of nowhere, and she ended up booking it. And
wow,
it's like like just some backstory, some backstory that a lot of people don't know, that I think is just that's just little nuggets of fun in the book.
I love it. And where can people get the book, by the way?
Anywhere books are sold.
Yes.
I'm sure Amazon, everywhere, right?
Barnes and Noble.
We even did an audiobook together, which was really fun because they kind of let us do whatever we want. So even though we were reading the book, we were adding like little things here and there.
That's true.
It's just
the audio version.
It's just a little different.
I love it. Maybe that's even better. Maybe that's the one I want to get.
You know what? I think it's better because
Carlos raps a chapter. I'm just kidding.
He does.
No.
We're not that crazy.
That'd be funny though.
Nothing wrong with that. I can get down with some rap every now and again. You may or may not have heard. I'm just throwing it out there. I want to ask you guys though about your kids. Do you feel like you see any of your kids so far being interested in the entertainment industry and acting and music? What do we think?
Yeah, I mean, spending 2 months on tour, my kids were like side stage for half of the shows, and our 3-year-old, he knows all the dance moves, like
everything.
But like you play the song, and he's like doing all the hits and the spins, and it's a boy band, so we do a lot of stuff, like
I love it.
Direction. But yeah, the 3-year-old loves music. 5-year-old's terrible at singing, like can't.
He believes he's a singer.
But he believes he's a singer, and his dances are just not great. But he's very smart. And then the 1-year-old, you know what? She likes to mouth like all the words,
Yeah, she sings.
But I think at the end of the day, it's whatever they want to do. I mean, we really give our kids so many experiences. Like I feel like that's like the most important thing. Like toys or whatever are cool, but they're living on a boat right now. They go fishing every day. Our 3-year-old was in the water like 2 nights ago. He was dying to get in the water. The sun was going down. I was like, I don't think we should get in. He was like, please. And I'm like, fine, kid, get in. So he puts his
starts snorkeling.
Yeah, he starts to, and it's like sun is setting. It's dark, and the underwater lights are on the boat, and you just see this like 6-foot nurse shark come under, and he's just floating there looking at the shark, and her and I are above the water like, is this okay?
That's full of
and he's up and he goes, that's so cool. And I was like, all right, dude.
Not scared at all.
Not scared at all. Enjoying life.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, it seems like it worked out. We got back on the boat, right? Everybody's fine. But no, I think it is a good lesson too, to always remember. I try desperately to get my kids to go do things, to take them to the beach or whatever it is that. And now that we live in Florida, we have access to so much. Because you're right. I feel like the experiences that kids have, whether it's with family or like Eric's grandmother is 96 years old. It's their great grandmother. They get to spend time with her. Those are memories that, I don't think they'll ever forget being able to be in her presence. And, although they are very young, I'm sure that will have an impact on them. And it's so cool that you guys allow your kids to do those things, doing that. You let your son get in the water when the sun was setting. I feel like most parents would have been like, absolutely not.
I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't know. We live on a boat.
We said no like 20 times, but he just kept begging. And I was like,
that just set the worst example for our child.
A good negotiator, so maybe a lawyer in your future.
I don't know, something.
If I just keep asking, they'll
look, and he's so cute. He's got big brown eyes, and he was like, please. And I was like, dude, just get in the water, man. Get in the water. It's okay.
Oh, wait, have you guys played some of your, obviously your kids know your music. Have they seen the shows or movies? What do they think of this?
They're obsessed. So they didn't watch Spy Kids for the longest time. They didn't like it, so I kind of gave up on that. But I would play them Big Time Rush, and they loved Daddy's Show. So I was like, what the heck? So finally, when we were on tour, I tried again with Spy Kids. They ended up becoming obsessed with Spy Kids and wanted to be Spy Kids. And they happened to be filming the new movie like while we were passing through Austin, Texas. So we literally went to the set. We met the new Spy Kids. They also all our old gadgets. So I actually just posted about it. So there's like a bunch of pictures on Instagram.
We have like little Rio sitting in her old seat in the little submarine. And I was like, this is cool.
So cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, talk about other cool experiences your kids are having. I'm so curious. I wish we could fast forward like 30 years and see what they're all going to be doing, because it must be awesome.
I hope they're taking care of me.
Do you think you're going to be that bad off in 30 years?
No, I mean, 63.
Think of Eric.
Right, but hold on. I mean, not like taking care of me, but like maybe Ocean owns a bigger boat than this, and I could just live on the boat.
There you go.
You're gonna live on Ocean's boat?
Yeah.
I like where we're going there. Maybe he'll have us all over. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. We'll see what happens. All right. Final question. Would either of you ever run for political office? Why or why not, Alexa?
Wow. Well, if you asked me this question when I was younger, there was actually an interview out there saying that I wanted to be the first female president.
Oh.
How old were you? 4?
I think I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah.
Fully. That was like a full-on thing. Now I feel like we're watching Scandal in real life. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe I can run for office and fix this mess.
Please, would you please? Because but that's the problem, is that I think a lot of people probably have big aspirations, or did at some point, and said, you know what, yes, it would be great to serve in some capacity, but man, take it from somebody who knows. They make nothing easy. It is tough, it is dirty, it is rough, but we need it because we need good people for the future of our country, Carlos.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. I don't think, I have had the thought too. I'm like, man, first Latino president. How freaking cool would that be? But I think I'd love to get involved in the state level at some point.
Well, we have
okay.
Yeah, but like getting involved on a national level, that just.
Well, I think, for instance, like I said, there are things that we're passionate about. I'm passionate about babies. Specifically unborn babies. We are pro-life, pro-mamas, and that's something I've never been shy about. So I feel like if we're really passionate about an area, really focus on that and drill into it, because I think politics isn't something I'm passionate about. It's something I'm interested in, but not super passionate about. I think you need somebody who's fully passionate and invested to get into something like politics.
I'd say we care a lot more now than in the last 10 years. I think the last 4 or 5 years has just been like, oh my gosh, we really gotta.
Been eye-opening, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I didn't care. I didn't care who was president. I didn't care who was mayor. Nothing. I was like, oh, whatever. I'm living my life. But now I'm like, now as a 33-year-old, I'm like, these decisions, these people are affecting my quality of life, and I'm like, I don't like it.
For the longest time, my prayer was like, God, please reveal the truth. Reveal the truth about what's going on in this world, what's going on in our nation. And then I feel like he has been revealing everything, and nothing's happening. So now my prayer is, God, please give people eyes to see and ears to hear, because everybody's blind and deaf to what's happening.
I just got chills, Alexa. I just got chills from that. That's crazy. Yes.
So us, we're just like, all right, keep revealing the truth, and then just pray that people have eyes to see and ears to hear. That's all we can do.
And you know what? I mean, we all know that whatever light is shined on in the darkness, it reveals all. And I continue. I mean, that's honestly the way that we kind of get through our day. Sometimes people are like, how do you guys take it? And we're like, well, we know the truth. We know in our hearts we're good people. We know it doesn't matter what people say about you and the nonsense that's put out there. One day I always, feel that the truth will be revealed, and that's how you live. But yeah, Alexa, you're right. People have to see it, and they have to be able to, take it in and witness it for that to matter.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Well, you guys are awesome. Good luck with the book. Everybody who wants to have, like 100 kids like you guys are going to have apparently, go out and get this book. I love it. What if love is the point? And I love the name, especially now hearing how you guys kind of got to the point of writing this book. So Alexa and Carlos PenaVega, thanks for joining us on The Right View. Obviously, so much more to come, more Swimming with Sharks, and we'll keep up with you guys and have you back soon, I hope.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You guys got it. To everybody at home, as always, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here next time for more of The Right View.